Hey crossword fans! Today we're going to be solving the New York Times crossword for Monday, June 24th, 2024. Alright, let's get started. One across recedes as the tide. This has to be ebbs, right? Let's see if we can build down here. Carve in stone. That should be etch. Let's work across here. Long hike. That's got to be a trek. Okay. Lincoln, Jackson, or Madison? This is very tricky because these were all US presidents, but they're also names of US cities. So this could be the word city. It has to be singular because they're asking for one or the other. So let's put in city here. And this long across might be our first theme answer. Base of operations. I'm not sure. It starts with an H. I wonder if it's headquarters. Does that fit? Headquarters. It does fit. Okay. This is beta, B or B. Yeah, those are both the Greek letter beta. Okay. Take a leap of faith quite literally. Sky. It's not skydive? Oh, this is a typo. It should be headquarters, not heat quarters. Okay, so this is skydive, a literal leap of faith. Peculiarity. That could be a quirk, like a personality quirk. Birth control options for short. Those are intrauterine devices. Imposters. I wonder if it's frauds. Invisible emanations. I bet this is auras. It's kind of mystical. Sedan summoned with a smartphone say. It seems like it might end in car. Politico Marco. Yeah, that's Marco Rubio. So, oh, it's an Uber summoned with a smartphone. That makes sense. Fuzzy stuff in a trap. Oh, it could be a lint trap in your dryer. Carry around. That should be tote. So we have fault, server error. This is a wordplay clue that's indicated by this question mark here. What we have to do with wordplay clues is look for a punny answer. So that means this is not going to be about a computer server error. It has to be a punny answer. That's why it's a fault. It's actually about a tennis server. That's a good one. And this is Aren't We All? That looks good. Stimpy's cartoon pal. That was Ren and Stimpy. Relentless campaign. It's not a siege. What do we have here? Bother greatly. I guess this could be eat at. That would make sense. Is this another theme answer? It looks like it is. It has an asterisk. Lively get-togethers. I would really want this to be something like hoedowns or hootenannies. It's not barn dance, is it? Farm tool for breaking up soil. I think that should be a tiller, if I'm not mistaken. Shoelace tips. This is quite a good word for a crossword entry. It is aglets. Yeah, that's the little plastic tip on the end of shoelaces. And it has to be plural because they asked for tips plural in the clue. African fly with a reduplicative name. That is the tsetse fly. Okay. Fashion magazine founded in Paris. That is Elle magazine. What is this? Relentless campaign. Lively get-togethers. Oh, it's shindigs. There we go. So this has got to be a crusade, right? Excellent. That'll help us get these acrosses. Musical staff symbol. That's a clef. Tomato variety that, despite its name, was actually developed in Maryland. Oh, that's surprising. It's got to be the Roma tomato. Fairy tale's second word often. Once upon a time. So we have a lop, cut off, when there's a word in parentheses at the end of the clue. That means that same word needs to be able to go at the end of your answer. So lop off sounds good. Emo is a broody subculture. And fan is a ceiling spinner. Excellent. 3-time Super Bowl winner Kelsey. Is this the player that's dating Taylor Swift? Is that right? It's Travis, isn't it? Rating units for Siskel and Ebert. They used thumbs, 2 thumbs up. Like the symmetry of a starfish. That is radial symmetry, just like a crossword puzzle. That's funny. Immediately, at once. Let's see if that's right. Is this a hater? Constant critic. Yes, it is. And this is udo, Japanese vegetable. I think maybe I've seen that once on a puzzle before. That's kind of a rare entry. Bite size, say? That could be mini, like a candy bar. Japanese art of flower arranging. Another Japanese clue. I don't know if I know what this word is. Figurative setting for a shady deal. That would be a back alley deal. So, wait a minute. Isn't it EY? That's not how you spell alley. Is it back door? Studio behind King Kong and Citizen Kane. I would guess that would be RKO, or is it MGM? Back room. There we go. So it's RKO. That sounds right. Okay, so what do our theme answers have in common? Headquarters, shindigs, back room. Well, they all seem to have body parts at the beginning of them. Head, shin, and back. Is this going to start with knee? One of a pair that a skater might wear. Yeah, that's going to be knee pads. Or I guess it's just asking for one, so it would be knee pad. Okay, so what do we have here? The Matrix hero, that's Neo. Prefix with dynamic. Could be aerodynamic. Eruption from a geyser. That should be steam. What gives beer its bitterness? The hops, yeah. So we have Eras, the Eras Tour Taylor Swift concert series. Speaking of Taylor Swift, so what is this? Bitter beer in brief. That could be an India Pale Ale. They use a lot of hops. And we have a top, like a cherry vis-a-vis a sundae. Yeah, the cherry's atop the sundae. Stimulates as an appetite. That would be whets an appetite. That's a good vocab word. Reside. That has to be dwell. Stakes a claim on. So this is like calling something or claiming something? Vehicle in a funeral procession. That has to be a hearse. The jobs in the Italian job, e.g. What would the jobs be in the Italian job? What would they be an example of? Well, it was about a heist, right? That was the job. So it's got to be heists. All right. Who Framed Roger Rabbit frames? Those were cells. Yeah, that's traditional animation. Cutie patootie. And let's take a look over here. Let's try and build some crossing help for our revealer. Stylishly streamlined. That should be sleek. Japanese art of flower arranging. Oh man. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our revealer. We suspect it has something to do with body parts, weightlifter's pursuit, or a hint to both halves of the answers to the starred clues. It looks like it's going to be bodybuilding, right? So it does start with body as we suspected. And then I guess the ends are all buildings. Quarters, digs, a pad, and a room. That is really clever. Wow. They found 4 examples of this phenomenon. That's pretty cool. Excellent. Okay, let's fill out the bottom here. Well, shucks. These quotation marks mean we need to come up with an equivalent phrase. Is it just darn? That would be a good equivalent. A Jedi mentor he was. This is speaking in a very peculiar dialect, the dialect that Yoda speaks in. Protuberance? Is it just a bump? I think that would make sense, although this is looking very weird. Maybe this is drat instead of darn? Defeats by a large margin. Yeah, that should be routes. Own up to has to be admit to. And key Watergate evidence. Yeah, that's the tapes. Okay. Where you might sleep while in the doghouse. I think most people sleep on the sofa when they're in the doghouse. Computer replication of real-world events for short. That's got to be a sim, a simulation. Mind matter, that's or. Ground-hugging cloud, that has to be fog. And let's get these acrosses and find out what this flower arranging art is. Fe on the periodic table. That's the chemical symbol for iron. And prefix with phone or church. Megaphone, megachurch. So this is Ikebana. I've never heard of this before. That's interesting. That's a cool one to have learned. And then I guess this is has dibs, right? I called it. Mental spark. That should be an idea. Spam spewers. I suppose those are bots, right? On the internet? Result of ignoring a caution wet floor sign, perhaps. I think this has to be a slip. So that would give us idle, Ariana Grande to Arianators, e.g. I've never heard of this. This must be Ariana fans. This should be neti pot, container for rinsing nasal passages. That's right. And this should be a gasp, sound of shock. Yeah, excellent. All right, let's throw this P in there and see if that'll do it for us. All right, a Monday puzzle in 16 minutes. This was an ideal Monday theme. We had this nice revealer, bodybuilding, and all of our theme answers are made up of one piece of a body and one building, headquarters, shin digs, knee pad, and back room. Very nice. And we even got a nice Monday wordplay clue, server error. I like that one a lot. That's a good intro to wordplay clues. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed pumping iron with me during this Monday solve, and I think that's gonna do it for now. All right, I'll see you next time.